again. It's July 31st. It is, I guess, Tuesday morning. This is my second video blog, and this is my second attempt today since my camera decided it didn't want to process the last video that I tried to make this morning. So I'm going to try one more time today to do a quick little blurb on my video blog and add a little bit to my fundraising efforts. Today I went out and rode another 20 miles. I'm trying to do it as many times as I can a week to stay in shape and get ready for my big ride in September. My fundraising goal is plugging along. I'm up to $560 towards my $3,000 goal. So I'll put that out there in case anyone wants to send along any donations. The information is on the website of where you could donate. On my written blog that I had started some time ago, I was going back into my journal. This was my journal that I kept on my first trip to Malawi, and I did not do very well keeping up with filling people in and talking about what the trip was like for me and why I'm doing all of this stuff that I'm doing right now. And I still find it difficult, I think, to put into words why I'm doing what I'm doing now for Malawi. But so I was trying to fill in some of the details from my actual writings from that trip. So this morning I was reviewing a little bit. I was still, the few pages that I read were still in the first 2 days or so that Shannon and I were in the village. We were there September of 2007, so it's been almost 5 years since that trip. What I had written about in those that first full 24 hours was just the full discomfort that I felt. I talked about how here at home, when things are different in my life, if I change a job, if I change one thing about my life, usually it's that one thing that changes, whether it's job or school. I'm in school now, and even if, for example, when my children moved out, they were gone, that it was one part of my life that was changed in any of those changes. But what I wrote about was that sometimes when things change, it's uncomfortable for a little bit, but usually it's just one area of my life that changes. Right now, as I was writing this in Malawi, right now every area of my life has changed on a daily basis, and I'm incredibly uncomfortable. I do believe that this feeling will pass. We will get used to the routine, the people, the language, food, surroundings, but it takes time. I keep saying prayers that I get more comfortable as time goes on. And as I read this morning, I thought, I keep saying prayers, it'll get easier, and I don't know what I expected really, but I don't know if I ever fully got comfortable while I was there. We were there for 2 months. It was supposed to be 3 months, so as I wrote this, I had 3 months ahead of me, a full 3 months in my mind. And I did want to feel more comfortable, and I just never fully did on that trip. So it was uncomfortable. There were so many parts. I think I felt like I was just me there with nothing else to bounce off of. I had no coworkers, I had no family there, I had no friends to kind of be a part of. We were just kind of there and trying to figure out who we were and what we were doing there. And it didn't help that in the first 2 weeks we had no job assigned to us. We had anything to really do, and it made us feel, I think, even more lost in the whole scope of the trip. When I look back, I think whenever I talk about how hard those 2 months were for us, I feel like I can't adequately explain how difficult it was, and I feel like sometimes people think that there was something wrong with us, that we weren't that comfortable, but that was our experience, and that's what it was. And I still sometimes think it's funny that I went back 3 times since then. I've been back 3 times after that trip, and it's a little confusing why I went back 3 times after it was so difficult the first time. But I hope to be able to explain a little bit about what it was about that country that was so, had such a draw for us. And, you know, I can sum it up really simply in that it was the people. It was the beautiful countryside we saw. It was the people who were just warm and friendly, the children who were just happy and smiling and playing all the time. And there's my phone. And so, so I'm going to continue reading through this a little bit so that I can share some of those experiences with on my blog, video blog, or if I decide to write some of those things down on my blog. And 5 weeks to go till my big ride, and I'm looking forward to that very much, and I will be blogging on that at some point. I'm thinking I'm going to use a tape recorder. I'm going to put a tape recorder around my neck, I think, and talk into it as I ride on my big ride, and to help me remember some of the things that I see and some of the things that I think, because as I ride I always have thoughts about that I want to share with someone and tell people something I saw, whether it was a hawk, you know, that I saw a hawk once that had picked up a rabbit. Actually, it was by a cemetery, and I was out towards Boston or New Hampshire or somewhere out that way, and I think I forgot to write it in my blog last year when I was doing my big ride. So I hope to be able to keep things a little fresher that way. Again, thanks for listening. This was my second video blog for Karen's Ride from Malawi. I will try again to upload this video, and I will try to keep doing these kinds of things, maybe writing in between a little bit, showing pictures from my blog and or from my trip. And thank you for listening, and leave any comments if you like, and don't forget to donate so I can reach my goal. Thank you.